Congratulations to Penn State on a great season. I certainly thought they came out and played us tough today. And I only think that's going to help us as we advance on to Athens to the Sweet 16. We are excited and no doubt ready. I thought this was an incredibly productive weekend to get back out in the courts and compete, and the team did a great job. With that being said, we struggled a little bit in doubles today, but all that credit, I think, goes to Penn State. You know, they came out, they played extremely well. They had a lot of energy, enthusiasm. They were aggressive. They took it to us, and I know that was going to be a tough point for us because they've had so much success in doubles all year. So going into the match, I had forecasted that would be the most difficult point for us, and if we could get through that, you know, I was feeling pretty good. But if not, I knew that, you know, our response to it would be the key, and we responded incredibly well. I thought that, you know, I looked up in the scoreboard within the first, you know, few minutes of singles, and Virginia was 1-0 up on every single court. Even though it was 1-0, I didn't know who served first. I only imagined that we did not serve first on all 6 courts, which would be highly unusual. So I was feeling pretty good. Like, thought the guys responded really well and said, you know what, we've got some work to do. There's a sense of urgency, and I think great teams are able to do that. Great teams sense urgency, and they did it today, and I'm proud of them. We're just in that mode where we know going into this tournament, it's very unlikely that we're going to not have these setbacks. So I kind of prepared them well ahead of time, that when we talk about the NCAA tournaments and how are we going to prepare when we're, you know, down 1-0. So that's something that's really been already talked about. And at that point, it's kind of, well, guys, this is what we talked about a few weeks ago and what the possibilities are that you have to prepare for. So all those discussions had already taken place numerous times in team meetings and individual meetings with doubles teams, and the kind of mindset that we're going to have coming back from 1-0. Obviously, our hope is to never be in a situation like that, but as long as I've coached, I don't ever remember making this run all the way to the Final Four final without having a setback in doubles and having to battle back. And we've had some big matches where we were able to overcome the doubles point. Again, it's only 1 point, but it does have a lot of momentum tied into it, so we take it very seriously here. It was a bit of disappointment to lose it, but I think you have to give credit to Penn State, not overreact. I feel like we're in a really good place as well with our doubles. We've only lost to, you know, 3 or 4 points all year long in almost 25, 26 matches. It's going to happen once in a while. I think we've done a good job.
Obviously, Alex is an unbelievable player, but could you believe how easily he won his match against a pretty good opponent?
Yeah, his opponent is great. He's certainly one of the best players in the Big Ten, and clinched their first-round match for them yesterday, but I'm not surprised at all. I mean, Alex is playing the best tennis of his life. He's having fun out there. He trusts all his shots. He's hitting his serve. He's an overwhelming force, and to beat him is a tall task. He is a special player right now, and he's an even better leader for our team. So we're going into Athens in a really good place with Domijan leading the way.
Is there anything you've learned about the team in these first 2 rounds that maybe you didn't know before, the makeup of the team?
Yeah.
Did they show you anything?
They're really good. I've coached a lot of teams that could play at a high level and win national championships. This is as good of team that I've ever coached in my entire 18-year career as a head coach. Certainly, I think there's some teams that could argue to be as good. I don't think I've ever had a team that I could say is better. This is a really, really good team. They have tremendous team chemistry. They work as hard as any team I've ever coached. They push each other on and off the court. They've come together as the season's gone on to really do the little things to make each other better, as well as themselves individually. And they're bound and determined right now as much as I've ever seen them before. They're extremely hungry and eager to get down to Athens. They're dedicated players, and they're as good a team as I've ever coached in my 18-year head coaching career. This is a special group. They have a lot of depth. And then you got our top 2 leading the way in Alex Domijan and Mitchell Frank. It's hard to have a better 1-2 punch than that, and I don't think I've ever had the kind of depth I do this year. There's a few things that we need to improve on and clean up on in the next 5 days, but I feel really good about this team, and it's going to be a lot of fun down in Athens.
When I first saw Alex play, I wasn't at Penn State at the time, and I told my assistant, my 2 assistants at the time, I said, that's the best player I've ever seen come to college. He's the best ball striker I've ever seen, you know, as a freshman. And today he played like it. I mean, he played almost as well as he did as a freshman. So, you know, kudos to the coaching staff of Virginia to keep him motivated and keep him pushing hard to keep playing good tennis, and he did. Leo, you got to realize Leo Stachowski is, he's a great player. I mean, he was ranked highly in the world when he came to college. He's seen everybody, played everybody. Obviously, his brother Sergey is one of the top players in the world. So, to beat Leo like that handedly, that convincingly, because I just didn't think Leo showed what he could do today, and that was Alex. They give credit to Alex. Alex played well. So to answer your question, he's a great number one, and then you've got Mitchell Frank that, unfortunately, my guy plays exactly like Mitchell Frank, but Mitchell just does a little bit better. He's just better at it. And they had great points, great rallies, but eventually Mitchell earns that last point, that last shot. So again, they're going to go. It's good. They're going to be right in there for the hunt for the national championship. They've got a great 1-2. I thought Ryan played well at 3. Justin played really well at 5 today. So they're solid. They know how to win. They've got the veteran leadership. So if they shore up their doubles a little bit, before they go down to the Sweet 16, and I think they're going to be right in there again.
I mean, it's pretty special for me personally, I think as a team in general, because we faced some adversity today, and I thought we all rebounded really well in singles. And, we're really looking forward to Athens. I think it's going to be a good test for us. I think we're physically ready, and we're looking to get there tomorrow and be ready come Friday. Basically just start strong, stay on them the whole time. Personally, I struggled with that yesterday. I got up early, and then I kind of let the guy get back into it. So, for me personally, I was like, stay strong the whole match. And I think across the board, we did that pretty well. Big Ten in general, I think, has a really good doubles point. Every time we've played a Big Ten team, they're always really fired up, and they have really good hands, and it just makes it very difficult to win the doubles point. So we kind of knew that going in.
You really cruised through your singles. The coach said that you were facing a really good player, and he couldn't believe how you just kind of chewed him up. Can you talk about your strategy against him? And
personally, I think it was a good matchup for me. I thought he likes to sort of place the ball, and I think I do well against guys like that. And also, I thought he was a little bit tired from yesterday. He had a really tough match to clinch. And I took advantage of that pretty well. I thought I stayed on him the whole time and kind of never let him get the energy back. Not really. I mean, there's always a certain the pressure, the enthusiasm from the other teams. Even it just increases so much for these matches, and you can feel it, especially in the doubles points. They're very competitive and very heated. So, we're gonna have to be ready, or more ready, come Friday.
I mean, it's going to be tough to beat us even if we do lose doubles point, because we're such a strong singles team as well. Our team's full of fighters, so we all just knew we were going to come out there strong and not give it to them. The NCAA tournament is definitely my favorite part of the year. It's definitely has the most energy in it. It's a lot of fun, so definitely not going to take it for granted.